Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As Jeremy dances.
That new theme is a bop, man.
It's a bomb. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the main roster presented by the Jed Show Podcast Network. As always, my name's Dan, and I'm joined by my dancer co-host, Jeremy. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm good, man. I'm all right. You may be under the impression that I am slowly going insane and that the dancing is a representation of that.
I know you're insane.
Yeah, and if you were thinking that, you would be right.
I know you're insane. You run a toy shop.
Exactly. I run a toy shop and I do a million podcasts and leave myself with no spare time whatsoever. I am probably clinically insane.
Yes, you are. There's no problem.
How is life your end?
Yeah, my end's good. Everything's good. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure everything's good. We've still got to discuss some WWE here. We'll see how we feel about that.
Apart from WWE.
There were some parts of it that were good, at least. Welcome to Kamen Rider Wizard 0014. As anybody else who is tuning in but is not chatting, feel free to chat along, argue with us, tell us you think our opinions are stupid. They probably are.
Tell us if you think we're wrong, and then we'll tell you why we're right.
Yes. It's one of my favourite pastimes, that is.
Yep, exactly. So
so on that note, we're going to discuss the two season premieres that took place in WWE this week, and that kicked off on SmackDown on Friday night. This season premiere had their brand new roster on the ramp, and WWE COO Triple H and Chief Brand Officer Stephanie McMahon in the ring. After introducing some of the night's matches, a brawl broke out, obviously. This eventually left Lars Sullivan in the ring with Jeff Hardy, who lost his match before heading off to Monday Night Raw.
Right.
Yes. It was an okay opening, other than right up until the point that Lars Sullivan turned up. Really, it's like, here are some new people, here are some old people that for some reason are here, and they get to do it one more time, and then they're off. And then Lars Sullivan turned up and ruined it. It did provide a little moment of comedy for me in this household, though.
Yes.
Lost my mouse. As I'm sat there watching it, my laptop on my lap, typing away, making notes. My daughter piped up, who was just sat next to me watching it. That man's wearing a red nappy. Talking about Lars Sullivan.
Oh, I think that's perfect. Because now that you think of it, it does look like a bit of
all the trunks.
Yeah,
his looks the most kind of nappy-like, for sure.
Yeah, they just look that sort of fabric that's a bit, I can't describe it.
It bunches together a bit like a. It especially looks like one of those old school kind of fabric nappies that you would like put a drawing pin on to hold it together. Yeah, but he's bled from the anus quite a lot and hasn't cleaned it apparently.
That's too much information, that is.
Hashtag blood from the anus.
Get that trending.
Can you imagine?
Oh God, it's the trending worldwide. Number one thing. Bleeding anus.
Hashtag bleeding from the anus.
Oh God.
Effing Lars Sullivan says, Kamen Rider Wizard. Yeah.
Why do I get a feeling he's going to get a push?
Because he's big and muscly, and Vinnie Mac loves that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's
just trying to put as many giant people on screen as much as possible at the moment.
Yeah, we'll discuss that later when we come to Raw.
Yeah, definitely on Raw, that's for sure. But I don't really have much more to say about the opening here, other than apparently, despite being driven off from Raw a couple of years ago, they're still making out that Triple H and Stephanie are in charge.
Fine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We'll move on, shall we?
Let's.
So next on SmackDown was a farewell match for the New Day as they took on Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sheamus. The New Day gained their final victory as a three-man team as Big E pinned Sheamus in the middle of the ring. Yeah, so that's the end of the New Day.
Yes, as it stands anyway.
Yeah.
I think they're still calling themselves the New Day as a duo on Raw.
Yeah.
We'll visit that slightly as we get to Raw later, but yeah, as I said last week, I'm glad that they're maintaining this Big E push, and I suppose, having had a week to think about it, the reason is that if they'd have just gone with it with all of the New Day together, be that on Raw or SmackDown, doesn't matter where, it would have just been kind of carbon copy of what they did with Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
And so by actually separating them, but not breaking them up, it gives Big E a chance to shine completely on his own.
Yeah.
Rather than just being one member of the New Day flanked by the other two, as was the case for Kofi Kingston. And that was fine for Kofi Kingston because it fit with what was happening at the time, but it would be difficult to not just repeat that.
Yes, absolutely. So be good for B. Really want to see Big E get his singles title.
Yes.
Bring it on. Bring it on for that, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, apparently they've forgotten about the Intercontinental title already.
Yes.
We didn't see very much of
Sami
Zayn. That on SmackDown, but maybe that's where he starts. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
There's still too many people who are leaving for Raw on this week's SmackDown to really have too much focus on how the roster looks now as a new thing. Time will tell. But did you spot in the Thunderdome for a good 30 seconds, front and center, somebody held up an AEW logo on their screen?
I actually missed that bit.
Yeah, during this match, during the 6-man tag team match, AEW, it was a blonde girl, and she was smack down in the middle, obviously, because whoever is deciding the placement for the screens is a pervert, and so she used her power. She went full post-feminist, using as much of her womanly power as possible to fight the patriarchy, and that was holding up just there so that her face was still there. And I think she did it from the bottom, actually, so you couldn't fully tell that it was her holding up an AEW logo that was there front and center.
Funny though.
Yeah.
No, it's quite funny.
That's the issue with the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Says Kamen Rider Wizard. It is. I mean, live is live, right?
They've had worse things appear.
They have. Yeah. And it's been a while since there's been any kind of problem.
Something dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think people realize there's very little point in kind of trolling it. If you're actually a fan of what's happening, there's very little point in trolling it. And it's such effort to actually get a place in the Thunderdome now that I think the people who are going for it generally don't want to waste the opportunity to be there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this blonde was jettisoned quick, sharp. And
not surprising.
And I don't know who it was at that point, but I know they've been doing the here is a WWE legend or somebody who from another brand.
That,
but it was like underneath whoever it was during the tag team match. Mark Henry maybe, or
wasn't it? Oh, Ric Flair was one of them, wasn't he?
Yeah, Ric Flair did a few, but whoever it was during this 6-man tag team match, directly underneath him, was a hot blonde holding an AEW logo.
Hey, I'm all right with the hot blonde.
I haven't really watched AEW in months, so I couldn't comment as to its quality. But the fact that I haven't watched it in months may speak to
something.
Its quality from a few months ago, at least.
Yeah.
Hey, says Little Cute Girl. Welcome to the main roster. Thanks for coming. Shall we progress with SmackDown?
Yes, we shall.
So Daniel Bryan made his Thunderdome debut on Friday night and spoke about his excitement in coming back and all of the new superstars on the SmackDown roster. Bryan's list was notable, however, for missing out Seth Rollins, who had been drafted to SmackDown, and this brought out the Messiah to the ring. Rollins asked whether Daniel Bryan would be on the right side of history and stand by his side, but Bryan said it was that his cause was dumb and he wouldn't join. The two brawled and Rollins escaped, but this brought out Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, who cornered the savior of SmackDown in the ring. To the rescue came Murphy. Or did he? Murphy, in fact, attacked Rollins and chased him out of the ring for the second time that night. Murphy then extended a handshake, or held out his hand at least, to the Mysterios, but neither of them were interested in shaking the former disciple's hand.
So we're still going along with this story.
Well, yes. I mean, it's only been 6 years. We've still got another 4 years left of every current WWE story, right?
Oh, great.
But yeah, I think it might slowly transition into Murphy going it alone against the Mysterios, trying to garner their favor.
Yeah.
Because I think Seth Rollins is moving on to other people, notably Daniel Bryan in this segment. So yeah, hopefully he goes off somewhere else. Hopefully when we've got through the Jey Uso story, we can see Seth Rollins mixed up there a little bit. Not one-on-one, because that doesn't make sense for the kind of face versus heel dynamic that you need to have. But Survivor Series on the same Survivor Series team, maybe, or something fun like that. Yes, Daniel called the Messiah gimmick stupid. Flashback to the hardcore vegan gimmick with the cardboard belt. But on a serious note, we have to save the planet.
We do.
I think it was pre your joining us on this podcast, Kamen Rider Wizard, but Dan and I were down with the vegan gimmick and the recyclable WWE Championship.
We like it.
And Dan knows belts.
It's cool. I know belts. I have 5 of them. I nearly forgot how many I had then.
I've got 1, but I would definitely own that burlap and wood WWE title. That was a sexy belt.
But you have an epic belt as well.
I do have an epic belt. That's true.
So
it may have to make a return to this podcast at some point in the future. How do you feel about Murphy in general then? This kind of half face turn that we've got going on.
I want him to make up his mind on whether he is face or heel.
Yeah. I think he in himself is full baby face. But not being accepted by the Mysterios while very real. All too often you get, and blah, blah, blah has changed his attitude now and everybody loves him.
Yeah.
It doesn't wash, but I think eventually, after several kind of savings and ways of earning their trust, I think we will see the Mysterios accept Murphy. I hope so.
Yeah.
Because that would be a different direction, at least.
Yes. But what is Seth Rollins calling himself on SmackDown?
He listed a few. I don't think he's fully decided yet, but he just went with the Messiah instead of the Monday Night Messiah. He also called himself the savior of SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then just kind of went on the greater good.
Yeah.
Kind of
Rant.
deal. Yeah, it's not going to be as catchy as Monday Night Messiah.
No.
I don't think. Maybe he'll find another synonym for God or something that rhymes or has
Something
alliteration
to do with
with Friday. Yeah.
Friday. I don't know. The only
The
things I
Friday
can,
night false god. No, that's not it.
the only things I can think of are rude. So
there are a lot of rude things that alliterate with Friday. That is true.
Exactly. So
I'm not sure alliterate is a word, but it is now.
illiterate. I think you're trying to say illiterate.
That's a completely different word.
Yeah.
Illiterate. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm dyslexic. Let's move on.
Over to you.
So, 4 new SmackDown. 4 men new to SmackDown clashed for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships next, as the champs, the Street Profits, defended against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. In the match, Ziggler and Roode managed to get themselves disqualified for double teaming.
Lame.
Yeah.
I kind of knew something like this was going to happen at the beginning of the night, because in the 6-man tag team match, they were going all in on saying, and blah 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 can double team in this 5 seconds that he is in the ring, because that is the rules.
5 seconds,
and they were like, 5 seconds, double teaming for 5 seconds, then getting out before being disqualified, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, why are you doing this? I thought at first it was like, okay, it's the season premiere. Maybe they're hoping for a new audience of people who's never seen wrestling before.
Yeah.
Not very likely. But then when this happened, I was like, oh, I see. You were reminding people that they're not supposed to be in the ring for more than 5 seconds, because you don't normally enforce that. So that you can enforce it this one time. Got you. Now it makes sense. Thanks for nothing.
Yes. And yeah.
I don't need to see, I think I've said this in like March, I don't need to see Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode as a tag team.
No. Well, on the premise of tag teams, I was thinking about it, about how many tag teams are actually in WWE now, because a few of them got broken up in the draft, didn't they? So the ones we have Cesaro and Nakamura. We have sort of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Yeah, I know. Street Profits. Yeah. The new the New Day as Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
2. So the 2 champions, that's good, right?
Yep. Lucha House Party.
Again,
Nah.
Divided slightly.
And can you think of anyone? There could be the Usos if they stay on the same brand, but we don't know that yet. So
no, and he's out for a little bit longer. Is Jimmy? So,
but I can't. Is there anyone else? Have I missed anyone?
I can't think of anyone else.
So that's 5 teams.
That's 3, 3 and 2, and 2 teams of singles competitors.
2 mares
thrust together.
Yeah. So, and that's between 2 brands.
Yeah.
It's going to get boring very quickly, unless they unify the tag belts.
But they missed their chance to do that.
I know, they could have done it, couldn't they? So
it would have been good to do that. But yeah, I mean, it looks like there's going to be some jiggery pokery that puts Heavy Machinery back together eventually. And I suppose John Morrison and The Miz are a tag team.
John Morrison and The Miz, yeah. So we got 6 with a possible 7 with Heavy Machinery, with whatever Otis called himself.
El Gran something. We'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah.
El Gran Pink Flamingo.
With his beard sticking out the bottom of his mask. But anyway, so Dolph Ziggler, Robert
So this
Roode.
segment
Fair.
was a segment that happened.
It was something that happened.
El Gran Gordo, thank you.
That's it. At least somebody's paying attention.
Indeed.
Let's move on.
Let's move on to the next segment and see if any of the writing team are paying attention to their own show.
Probably not.
All signs point to no. The SmackDown season premiere was supposed to play host to the contract signing between SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley and challenger Sasha Banks. But after the pair argued for a short time, Bayley was chased away without signing the contract. Sasha promised that Bayley would sign the contract one way or another. That's what I think of that.
Yeah.
Why?
I'd do that sound with another hand gesture, but
why prolong a contract signing over a course of weeks? It just seemed like they wanted to have so many things on this show. It's like, and we're going to tease it, and we're just going to put it off till next week. And we're going to tease it and put it off to next week. Nothing actually happened on SmackDown.
They want to do a Roman Reigns thing. Where he signed it at the last minute.
Yeah, but Sasha's a babyface. It's not as entertaining that way round. It's just dumb, man. It's just dumb.
Yeah, it's
and
dumb.
This whole, you'll sign it one way or another. So what are you going to do? Cut off her hand and sign it in her own blood, or just kind of attach it to a robot who signs it with her hand?
The Fiend has already done the blood thing, so...
Yeah. There's no physical way that you can make someone sign a contract and it actually be their signature. There's just no physical way of doing that.
Unless she attacks her and locks her in the bank statement until she does sign it.
Do you know, you've hit upon a winner there. If they do that, all will be forgiven.
Yes, there you go. So we need to see her, Sasha Banks, jumping Bayley from behind, locking her in the bank statement or in some sort of lock with including the chair, and get her to do that. Sorted.
Yeah, that works. You don't need to cease to sign the contract. I'd like her to be like full pullback, like just being pulled out the way.
Proper.
And she just signs it next to the Hell in a Cell logo or something, because
just signs it anywhere on
she
the
signs
contract.
the ring mat and is like, no, that's the ring mat. Do it again.
Do it again.
She just keeps signing random things. Somebody brings in a photograph and she signs it and they give it to a kid in the front row.
It'll be the Bayley kid.
Yeah. One kid. You give it to a kid in the front row, you just thrust it into a screen, and then they go to grab it and it just falls down. Here you go, kid. Oh, I wanted the thing.
Oh, dear.
This is a much better show than is going to happen. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yes. We should write for WWE, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should turn this podcast into just, a fantasy wrestling show where we write our own Raw and SmackDown every week. And then we compare it with the actual, or we put a vote out against the actual Raw and SmackDown and
who
people
likes
vote for which one's better. Yeah.
There you go. Sorted.
Right.
Next week it'll be fantasy wrestling.
So there was one part of SmackDown that I actually liked.
Yeah, so
and with your huge chunk of text,
great.
You may proceed into it.
SmackDown's main event saw the Tribal Chief, the WWE Universal Champion, defend his gold against Braun Strowman, who intended to take the championship to Monday Night Raw after being drafted there last week. Strowman gave Reigns a good run for his money, but ultimately was submitted via a guillotine headlock by the champ. After the match, Jey Uso came out to the stage and watched on as Reigns speared his defeated challenger. As Uso came to ringside, Reigns said to him, "If I can do this to him, imagine what I can do to you," and mercilessly beat Strowman with a steel chair. Reigns called Jey into the ring, gave him the chair, and offered him his back. Uso didn't hit his cousin with the chair at first, instead punching and super kicking his tribal chief. With Reigns down, Uso picked up a chair and struck him. Reigns was able to make his way to his feet, and the pair were separated as SmackDown rolled off the air. Done.
And breathe. You'd be glad to know that the rest of this podcast, it's me with the chunky text. So yeah, first of all, you know, good job, Roman. Much love you.
Yeah.
That's not to say that this segment was without problem, though. I'm not sure why they are using Strowman now as just a giant jobber.
He's Lana.
I mean, let's not go that far. But I know they're separating these guys, and the idea is to make Roman Reigns look incredible, and that's working.
Yes.
But the other side of that is that Strowman needs to go and do something with his career on Raw. And so if you can't beat Roman Reigns, who is smaller than him, how is he expected to go to Raw and beat Keith Lee this week, a man who is bigger than him and just as agile and versatile as Roman Reigns is? It doesn't really make sense.
No.
And if it doesn't make sense,
him over.
You must acquit.
Yes.
To quote South Park. But I really liked the kind of mix up between Roman and Jay, and that Jay was like, he was never going to attack Strowman, but he didn't care that Strowman was getting pummeled with a chair either. So we've got this colder, less compassionate side of Jey Uso as he's slowly being driven to do some nasty things to his cousin to try and take his championship and take his place at the head of the table. And not striking Reigns with his back turned, but then punching him in the face and laying into him with a chair afterwards.
Yeah.
With him looking right at him.
Yeah.
That's how Reigns as a babyface should have been, but wasn't.
Yeah.
Reigns as a babyface did the bad thing. He would have hit the person in the back and then be like, do what I want. I'm Roman Reigns. Deal with it. I'm a babyface.
This is my yard.
This is my yard. and then we'd have gone on with him as a babyface and it not being very interesting.
Yes.
But Jay managed to be a legit badass to get his kind of revenge to a certain extent with the chair, but still maintain that babyface role completely and without question.
Yeah, he did it very well indeed.
So somebody writing for these guys has woken up.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Paul Heyman may be slipping notes to some of the people involved in writing this, being that he is there alongside Reigns. Like, do it like this. And they're like, yes, Mr. Heyman, this is a great idea, because it is.
Yes. It is a very good idea.
Would you like me to sign that check? No, Mr. Heyman. We definitely would not like you to be involved in checks whatsoever. Thank you. So it was a nice end to SmackDown in a show that was weird and disjointed and had so many pointless moments. It was a good ending.
Yeah.
And it went off the air at the right time.
Yeah.
Unlike its counterpart last night.
Yes.
On the USA Network.
Yeah. Let's go over.
Let's delve in, shall we?
Yeah.
To the red brand. And not to be outdone by its blue cousin, Raw kicked off its season premiere with the weirdest new opening music I have heard in my life.
Yep.
Honestly. Next, Alexa Bliss was introduced. And then she introduced The Fiend. And after his entrance, the pair just stood motionless in the ring while Retribution made their presence known.
Mm.
Just as they were set to attack The Fiend and Bliss, the lights went out and they disappeared. This brought the Hurt Business to the ring, and just as the fight between the two factions started to heat up, Raw went to commercial. Obviously. Perfect timing, as always. Back from commercial, an 8-man tag team match took place, and this match culminated in a victory for the Hurt Business after T-Bar tapped to the Hurt Lock from Bobby Lashley. With the match over, the lights went out again, and the Fiend reappeared, single-handedly decimating Retribution as the Hurt Business watched from the ramp.
Yeah.
That was a lot of things to happen.
Yeah.
For nothing to actually happen.
Yes. I saw Alexa Bliss, so I'm happy.
Yeah. No, every moment that Alexa Bliss spent on Monday Night Raw was a stellar moment, but just because it looked good, it doesn't mean that it made a whole lot of sense. Because I would have loved to see her mix it up with whatever they're calling Mia Yim in Retribution.
Retaliation?
Whatever.
I think.
Head basic in charge. Why wasn't that a thing, first of all, mixing those two up? Because Mia Yim's like, oh, it's the Hurt Business. I'll just go, shall I? Yeah, okay, right, see you later.
Right, okay, bye.
She didn't stand there and cheer or shout or do anything. She's like, oh, men.
Okay.
See ya. Me no fight, man. Me leave now.
She's
retaliation.
A caveman now. She's a caveman now.
Might as well be.
Oh dear.
I mean, they're all a bit caveman-y. They're all a bit nonsense.
Bit ridiculous.
Yeah. I liked Mustafa Ali's background promo. Yeah, that's what he apparently calls himself now. Rather than Mustafa, it's Mustafa. That's how he pronounced it. Because you guys in the back couldn't get a guy called Mustafa Ali over. All right, Mustafa. Thanks for that.
It's a great impression.
Yeah. The reason that they couldn't get him over is because he's crap.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not because he's got an Asian name.
It's because you're crap.
It's a practicing Muslim. It's because he's bad. He doesn't
you are really bad,
do very well. Yeah. I mean, they did handicap him by just kind of dropping his first name and calling him Ali for a bit.
Yes.
Like,
there was that.
You're not going to... none of these people with no first names are really going to get over.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and in the chat, Kamen Wizard raises my next point. I don't really know why Retribution would lose. The Hurt Business didn't need the win, but you're trying to build Retribution and you have them lose. Why?
Yeah.
Preach. Like the Fiend, Alexa gave me a creepy boner. But even still, they made Retribution look terrible. Yes. Yeah, not only were they defeated, they tapped out, and then the Fiend got rid of them all in one go.
Yeah.
Single-handedly.
Yeah. Go on, the Fiend.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm with you, Kamen Wizard. I don't quite understand why Retribution got done that way, to be honest.
It's because Mustafa is now leading them.
Yeah.
That's why they're losing.
Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa. Yes.
He should go back to pretending to be Iron Man. I was working for him far more than than whatever he's got going on now.
And he was apparently the hacker as well. So
yes, he
which we all kind of knew.
We'll just hold up our inevitable signs to that one.
But yeah.
So all in all, as I said, a lot happened.
Yeah.
But also nothing happened.
Yeah. Great.
Cheers, Raw. Great start.
Right.
Let's move on. See if it got better.
Move on. So, accompanied by the massive bouncer of Raw Underground, Jordan I can't say that name. Amogeben.
I assume it's Amogbaheen.
Amogbaheen.
They didn't say it out loud, so I don't know for sure.
Amogbaheen. Yeah. Amogbaheen. We'll say that. Amogbaheen. AJ Styles came to the ring to reclaim Monday Night Raw because he's the face that runs the place. Styles was scheduled to take on Matt Riddle, but first the referee had to remove AJ's massive bouncer from the ring, which took some doing. However, the big man's presence at ringside was enough to put Riddle off his game, and the original bro fell to the Styles clash. Yeah.
Can AJ Styles not just be AJ Styles? Does he always have to have someone behind him?
He can't work on his own anymore. Did you not know that?
No, apparently not. He's either got to have, the OC, or who else has been with him? There's been so many.
Yeah. But he was
just let AJ Styles be AJ Styles. He's just come off the best kind of rivalry in that 3-way for the IC title that he's had in years.
Yeah.
Don't put him in front of a gigantic dude again now, because I don't know if you noticed, but they could not find a decent kind of close-up frame that could capture short AJ Styles and giant Jordan tall ninja dude in the same frame without it just being AJ Styles' head and like the other guy's top of head like that. They just couldn't frame it right. They're like, no, there's too big a difference for you to get a single shot of these guys. You're going to have to zoom out.
Yeah.
So if you want to see AJ Styles' expressions close up, tough. You can't do it.
You can't. You're not allowed to.
Focusing on the other guy's tie behind his head or something.
Yeah. But yeah, why did they need the tall ninja?
Yeah. And I suppose this is a perfect opportunity to question Raw Underground. Anyone?
Yeah. Hello. How many weeks
That's
was
the
it
bouncer
on?
from Shane McMahon's Raw Underground. I'm sorry, Shane McMahon's what? We've already forgotten about this thing.
Where's that gone?
They've obviously given up that thing.
How long did that last? About a month?
Yeah, maybe a month and a half. But we said it here first.
Yeah.
They ruined it by interrupting the Aleister Black Kevin Owens match for no reason whatsoever on Raw Underground, and then by having Braun Strowman beat the champion Baba Tunde or whatever he's called.
Baba Tato, whatever.
Baba Kato. Baba Kato.
Something like that.
Pick up a penguin.
Baba Potato.
Bubba Potato.
Not
to be confused with Bubba Ray Dudley.
There you go. But
to be honest, the OC with AJ wasn't bad, but why the tall ninja? Yeah. So this is the third thing that this guy's done as they try and shoehorn him into something. Yeah. And he still hasn't had any kind of physical contact with anyone other than a referee to stop him counting, which was dumb.
Yeah.
It was dumb. The idea is like, oh, you got to get out of the ring. No. All right, then. Well, no match. See you later. Why did this referee act like such a wimp around it? It's like, you hit me, fine. Okay, hit me then. Do it.
Yeah.
You'll be the one that faces the consequences for hitting a WWE official. Either hit me or get the hell out of the ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wimp.
You should be a WWE official.
Yeah.
We should be just running WWE full stop. Competing, refereeing, writing.
Yeah, Yeah, if I was the general manager of Raw, right, in that segment, and the referee was trying to get him out, and he was saying no, I like that would be hit my music. I'd go out onto the ramp and I'd be like, look, you giant ninja guy, if you don't get out of the ring right now, I'm going to WWE your name and take away your last name. Even worse, I'll take away your first name, and nobody knows what your last name is. So you'll have no name at all. Then get out. When you guys run WWE, be sure to book me. You know it.
Yeah, sure.
You know it. Nepotism from the top, as is the WWE tradition.
Too right.
Anything more to say about AJ Styles, Ninjas, or Matt Riddle, who we have not discussed at all?
Not really.
No. Good.
No.
Right.
Move on.
As a result of winning a Battle Royal last week, Lana took on Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship this week. Lana was defeated fairly easily, tapping out, but immediately as the match ended, the Women's Tag Team Champions came to the ring to jump both challenger and champion. Lana was met with a Samoan drop through the announce table, while Shayna tried to put Asuka down, but the Empress turned the tables and sent Shayna flying out of the ring. On the other side of a commercial break, the champs took to the mic to state their dominance, calling out anybody who thinks they're hard enough. And apparently, the teams of Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce, and the Riot Squad all thought they were hard enough. An impromptu fatal four-way tag team match got going, and the champs picked up victory as Jax delivered another Samoan drop, this time on the Southern Belle Lacey Evans for the 1-2-3.
Yeah, well, I think we all knew Lana wasn't going to win.
No, that was fairly inevitable.
God, can you imagine what it would have been like if she did?
Oh my God! Straight to not TikTok because it's banned in America. Straight to Instagram Reels. Is that
her YouTube channel? She's got a YouTube channel apparently.
Well, she ain't gonna plug here unless she follows the Jez Show on YouTube. You heard it here first, Lana. Get it sorted.
Sorted. Come on, love.
Down there, underneath the stream, hit that subscribe button. But seriously, Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce?
Yeah, what? Why? Just why?
Oh no! We broke up all of our tag teams and we separated most of the people who could be tag teams. What should we do? Writers look around. You and...
You.
Peyton Royce is just there with a sandwich like... Get to the ring. You're a team now. Huh?
Oh, right,
okay.
What was that?
That was my Australian accent.
Don't ever do it again.
Okay.
You sound like a Muppet.
Well, I was just going to say, apparently all Australians sound like parrots. Who knew?
No, they sound like us, just drunk.
No, okay.
There you go.
I don't think we're there. We'll work on it. Tune in next time to Australian accents. On the main Australian accent. Live on the Jez Show Podcast Network.
Oh, God.
Just reform the Iconics, says Kamen Rider's Wizard. Yes, well, unfortunately, they have put the other one on SmackDown. So, no.
Can't really do that. Unfortunately.
Maybe they should bring over from SmackDown, because, they're signing people to Raw now. They should bring over El Gran Kangaroo. She's a tall Australian lady with black hair. She's got the same kind of build as Billie Kay.
Same annoying voice.
If you kind of squinted at it, same annoying voice. If you kind of squinted at your TV, you might mistake them, but it's not the same person.
Yeah.
And she's also got a gigantic beard coming out of the bottom of her mask as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I could do that.
And call them the Icon-ish.
Iconish.
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 Icon.
Icon.
Icon. I cannot be bothered.
I cannot be bothered. I like that one. There you go. We've hit upon the winner.
There you go.
And so devoid of teams on Raw were they that they're like, oh, it's the Riot Squad. They don't go here. Oh well, no one cares anyway. Here they are.
Here's the Riot Squad.
They must be hanging around on their last opportunity to do so.
Yeah, of course they are.
Right, yes.
And
this week they'll be on SmackDown, where they'll face such teams as... Nope, that's all I got.
I can't think of any female tag teams. It would only be Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler because they've got the championships.
But they've already trod that ground.
Be it on SmackDown.
Yeah, because as far as I can remember, the only other women on SmackDown are Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Bianca Belair has been drafted there.
Yep. So the tag teams aren't doing very well in WWE at the moment.
They're really, really not. And that actually is a very nice segue into our next segment. So take that away.
So the men's tag team picture on Raw wasn't a whole lot more promising, with Kofi Kingston taking on Sheamus, who isn't in a tag team. And he was 1-on-1. With Big E on one of the screens of the Thunderdome, Kingston was able to defeat Sheamus with Trouble in Paradise. Good old Big E cheering on from the Thunderdome.
Yes. Yes. Is that going to be a thing?
Probably.
It's going to get old quick. In that it's already old. Don't ever do it again.
Oh, you know they're going to ride this train all the way through.
Are we just getting our money's worth out of the Thunderdome? Because like the contract expires soon. And Florida is insane, and they're just letting people into events left, right, and center. Like the Miami Dolphins are apparently going to have a full capacity crowd within the next month.
Wow.
Like 40,000 people or something stupid like that. And so, yeah, like AEW have got a socially distanced crowd.
Yeah.
So do we stay in the Thunderdome through the rest of the year?
I think they might be talking about getting some crowds in, because they've done it with NXT, haven't they?
Have they? I haven't watched NXT in weeks either. I thought they were just doing screens in the same way.
No, they've got a new location. Well, I think it's a new location. They've got the
Capital Wrestling Center.
Yeah, I think that's the Performance Center. They've just renamed it.
Is it right?
Yes. They've got the screens, but they've also got like a mini crowd as well around the edge. Kind of like what happened when the superstars were watching.
Yeah, yeah. But they're actual people. They're not just other trainees.
I think so.
They need to just make one woman brand. No, I don't think we need to go there and segregate the men and the women. I don't think we need to go there.
I think they just need to a bit backwards.
Yeah, they just need to write properly. That's what they need to do. They need to write properly. They need to plan to have actual women's tag teams on their shows. They need to plan to which women are going to be on which show. And they just need to do some things that make sense. It's not difficult. They're just not very good at it.
They just need to write.
I don't think... just need to not be terrible at their jobs. Which is a big ask. I know, but... Onwards?
Yep, onwards.
Yeah, because this got better.
Yeah.
For some reason, Elias and his band performed a song on Raw ahead of his album release next Monday. Yay. After Elias began to prepare for an encore, a masked guitarist went freestyle before revealing themselves to be Jeff Hardy. Hardy chased Elias off, shouting at him that he didn't hit you with that car, man.
Exactly like that.
Exactly like that. It's a day of impressions, Daniel. A day of
It is, isn't
stellar,
it?
perfect impressions and accents on the main roster.
I'll come back to you on that one.
You're witnessing greatness in front of your eyes and in your ear holes right now. I can't wait to not buy that Elias album, says Cameron Wizard.
Me too.
Hey, it's on Spotify, so I'll get it for free.
Oh, there you go. You can listen to Elias for free.
No thanks. You'd have to pay me.
Even for free, you don't want to listen to him.
No. I've got plenty of albums that I do want to listen to that I haven't got time to listen to, let alone this. I mean, the song wasn't offensive. It just wasn't, groundbreaking. It was just a kind of light country, slightly rocky, but not really kind of produced tune. It's not going to light the world on fire.
No.
Not sure it needed to happen. I guess he was just bored while he was out injured.
Yeah. Yeah.
And okay, do they not want the album to kind of do a little bit well? Like, he was a babyface before he left, right?
Yes, he was. Yes.
So now he's a heel again, hating on the crowd, even though they're not even there.
Yes.
That'll sell the albums. Good job.
Of course, you know it will. You know it will.
I prefer Jeff Hardy music. Right, well, let's not go too far. Let's not say things that we can't take back, Kamen Rider Wizard.
I prefer Jeff Hardy music as well.
I think it's okay to say that we will not listen to either because they're both bad. That's okay.
I listen to Jeff Hardy's music.
It's okay to say no to bad music.
I listen to Jeff Hardy's music.
It is perfectly reasonable that someone would go, nope, not doing that, and just not listen to either guy. Okay?
It sounds like you're trying to give me therapy.
I'm trying to give Kamen Rider Wizard and our chat therapy so that he doesn't have to suffer either of these terrible, terrible people. Oh, and Jeff Hardy was on frickin' Raw Talk afterwards, and he's like, yeah, I actually liked Elias's music, and I want to have a battle of the bands with him. I'm like, no, they're gonna do this. It's gonna be bad. Oh no.
I'm still waiting for Jeff Hardy's old entrance music to come back.
Yeah, well, CC, when is the Thunderdome going away? And apparently that's when you're going to get it.
Yeah. So I know that's one of the reasons why he re-signed. That's something he made sure was in his contract.
I have Jeff Hardy's TNA songs on my playlist. Obsolete and Placate were amazing. Might mute Kamen Rider Wizard for 30 seconds as a punishment. Yeah, so of all of the not announced matches for Hell in a Cell, this is one of them. Jeff Hardy and Elias will meet on Sunday.
In a car match.
In a I didn't hit you with that car, man match.
Yes. Basically, the way to win is hit the other person with a car.
Yeah. And you're not allowed to drive it.
No, you got to push it.
No, you got to pick it up
and lob it
them with the car.
What, like a club?
Just like above your head, like drunk. By God!
That's something they get Braun
just
Strowman
crushed
to
him
do.
Square in half.
That's something they get Braun Strowman to do.
It is, yeah.
But anyway,
when they finish jobbing him out.
We are divulging a bit too much.
Just a little. Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yeah, I mean, I know you're keen to get to this segment, so go for it.
So, with Take separated from his partner Otis by the draft, he needed to find a partner to face John Morrison and The Miz in a tag team match. Take secured the globe, scoured the globe, and found the greatest luchador of all time, the next Rey Mysterio, El Gran Gordo. After taking down El Gran Gordo, like he was Otis, talking down. I'm getting muddled up here. After talking down El Gran Gordo like he was Otis, the match began. Thanks to the distraction of R-Truth, Akira Tozawa, and others, El Gran Gordo was able to hit El Orga, the caterpillar, and pick up the 1, 2, 3.
They didn't call it that, by the way. I just used Google Translate.
Oh, fair enough.
What is caterpillar in Spanish? Oruga. Okay. El Oruga. Also, you're too good at that Tucky impression.
Tucky. It's because there's a horse at my stables called Tucker.
Is that right?
So I go around calling him Tucky.
Did this horse also lose his last name? Did he used to be Tucker Knight and now he's just Tucker?
No, he's just been called Tucker.
Oh, you WWE'd him before he even had a chance to have a surname. How rude.
He came out WWE'd.
Pre-named. Great.
Yes, exactly.
So I liked the actual kind of character that they did in El Gran Gordo and how ridiculous that was. That was fun. I wonder if we're going to see some kind of tradey switcheroo happen in a month or two that either takes Tucker to SmackDown so that they're together on SmackDown, or brings Otis to Raw so that he's with Tucker and Mandy Rose.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be a way of fixing this New Day separation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's a possibility. I think they're at least going to carry this through to the court case, whenever that may be.
Or I just had a thought. Otis could come over to Raw with his Money in the Bank contract, use it on the Raw Tag Team Champions, and then the New Day go back to Big E.
But they would still be Raw superstars even if they lost their belts.
Yeah, but they could get somehow traded back to SmackDown. You know what WWE's like.
Yeah. I hope that he does cash in for the tag titles. I hope that is a thing that happens. But I think I don't know what their plan is. Like, it's so hard to even consider what they might be thinking is a good idea for Otis being Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Like, of all of the weird ideas that exist in WWE right now, this is by far the dumbest and weirdest.
Yeah.
I thought the contract was only for the two main titles. But you assume that WWE go ahead with the things that they say on television. They can make it up as they go along, and regularly do. Are you new around here?
Yeah, do you know nothing?
They do what they want. They do what they want.
Almost like they own the company.
It's almost like they don't give a damn about continuity or anything that their fan base want or watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
They made up half the draft, like 10 minutes after it had finished.
They just kind of went, oh no, we forgot about a few people.
Still no idea where Andrade is.
Oh, he's in the ether somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been on NXT. I didn't watch NXT. I don't know, but
no, he wasn't on NXT.
For a draft that was supposed to shake things up, this Raw felt an awful bit like SmackDown from 3 weeks ago with added Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, to be honest. Rey Mysterio got kayfabe thrown off a building for Otis to win that briefcase.
Yeah.
It was serious business.
Didn't someone else go off with him?
No, Corbin just went yeet and off he went.
I thought Corbin threw another person off as well.
Oh, Aleister Black as well.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Aleister Black.
And they're like, luckily there is a second level there, and they're not dead. They did not just fall 100 feet to their doom. Like, thanks for pointing out that nobody died in this. nobody can die because it's fake match. Thanks.
Yes, exactly. Let's move on.
Anything more on El Gran Gordo? Would you like to do one more tucky?
I can do one more tucky if you want me to do one more tucky.
I would like you to say El Gran Gordo, but the Gordo in the tucky voice.
Right, okay. El Gran Tucky. I said tucky. El Gran Gordo. It sounds weirder.
And that's a whole other play. Waiting for Godot. Oh dear.
Let's move on.
We've just tipped the hour mark and we are totally cracked in the head.
Yeah.
Raw's main event saw Braun Strowman defeat Keith Lee. Strowman was being manhandled by Lee and so chose to accidentally headbutt the Limitless One in the Limitless Duels, allowing him to gain victory. After the match, Lee retaliated, kicking Strowman in his little monster among men and leaving him laying.
Great.
Yeah, joy. A rivalry that could have been prolonged and interesting and great and entertaining in at least some modicum of a way was cobbled together quickly and ruined by nonsense, frankly. Yeah. I've really got nothing to say about it, to be honest.
No, neither do I.
Like, Strowman lost again, so well, he won, but he lost really because he cheated. So
he got
didn't
a low
gain
blow.
anything, and he got kicked in the monsters. Yeah.
So the monster munch.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not over because Keith Lee was like, blah 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 blah, and so he'll be back next week with another match. But will we care, Daniel? That's the question.
No.
Yeah. And on that note,
we'll close.
Hopefully, we can care about some other things after this Sunday, and hopefully, what you're about to describe as the last segment
time
on television between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre.
So to close out the season premiere of Monday Night Raw, Randy Orton talked to us from inside Hell in a Cell. Orton spoke about his memories and successes inside the cell, but then, of course, he was interrupted by WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. From the safety of the cell, Orton taunted McIntyre, suggesting he come and get him. McIntyre obliged, fetching a pair of bolt cutters to cut the chain. Just as McIntyre stepped into the cage, Raw's excellently timed scheduling kicked in again, and Raw went off the air. What the hell?
So I then went, after watching Raw, I was like, right, well, they're using this as a way to get you to tune into Raw Talk, right? Because you'll get the final kind of thing on Raw Talk before they start Raw talking. But no. You open Raw Talk and they're like, weenie, weenie, pan across the empty cell with nobody in it. Weenie, 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 people. I'm like, let's turn that off then.
Turn that off.
Well, yeah. What's the point in teasing this altercation? Like, you can't get me in the cell. Yes, I can. Oh, I got you in the cell. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. What did they do?
They
you had him in the cell. What was the next sequence?
They had a cuddle.
They're like, sorry, Randy, I can't twat you now. Raw's gone off the air. See you Sunday? Yeah? Yeah, okay, great, thanks.
Yeah, all right, see you later.
This idea that nothing happens in the commercial breaks is just being
ridiculous,
hammered by WWE at the moment.
Mm.
It's like, oh my god, they're about to come to blows. Fade to black. And in the commercial break, they just stood here in freeze frame waiting for time to start again. And now we're back. Oh, it's over in 2.3 seconds and nobody cares. And we're on to the next segment.
Well, saying that, there was somebody leaked a video from when they did the WWE before the Thunderdome. And I think it was a match with like Alexa Bliss and all that. And it was the bit in the commercial break. And they're literally just standing around, just kind of wandering around the ring, not doing much.
Yeah, no, I saw that as well. They were like, like locking up and like, and we're off. And then they were like, they just like walked into a new position, like, and we're back. Yeah, yeah. Like, we're back here on SmackDown, where so much has happened in the commercial break.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, it's just bad. They're not.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to happen on SmackDown. SmackDown, for its faults, does seem to be paced quite nicely and timed out quite well.
Yeah.
Whoever is deciding the kind of run order of Raw needs to be shot, frankly, because it's terrible and it has been for a while.
Yeah, I've got a gun.
All right, Kurt Cobain.
It's only an air rifle.
Well, that'll at least give someone a shock enough to go, like, don't do stuff in the commercial breaks. If you have a segment that is 15 minutes, don't put it in a 10-minute segment. You goon. It's not difficult.
Yeah, there you go. Let's head to America, Jeremy.
Ow! Yeah, damn right, ow. Sort yourself out.
Sorted.
Right, well,
being
that nothing happened between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre because the commercial gods saved Randy Orton from McIntyre even getting in the ring.
Yeah.
We'll have to instead focus on this Sunday and their Hell in a Cell match, which is commercial free, thankfully. And it's time for us to predict the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Yes.
But only 4 matches have been announced so far.
Yeah. Gonna be a short pay-per-view.
Apparently so, yeah. So for the interest of the competition between us, if any other matches are announced over the course of the week, or on SmackDown, which is likely, then we will post about who our predictions are on social media, just to make sure that we can tally that up next week on our Hell in a Cell review show. So let's kick off then with Jeff Hardy versus Elias.
I'm going to stick with Jeff Hardy, just because Jeff Hardy's my favourite, and also he needs to show that he didn't hit him with a car.
Didn't hit you with a car, man.
Yeah, that one. The I didn't hit you with a car, man match. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Kamen Rider Wizard agrees with you in the chat. He says Hardy. I am going with Elias.
Oh my god. If he wins, you've got to buy his album.
No.
Okay, then. If he wins, I will buy his album.
Okay, that sounds fair.
And here's the deal. If Elias wins, I will buy Elias's album. If Jeff Hardy wins, you will buy Jeff Hardy's album.
Fine. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Fine.
Everyone heard that.
Yeah.
Everyone heard that on the
Might-
internet. On the internet.
I might delete this episode. Next match. SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley versus Sasha Banks.
If it goes ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this one. I'm going to let you decide first.
Sure, because I have a very clear choice, and I think that Sasha Banks is going to finally dethrone Bayley from her crown of SmackDown Women's Champion. It's been over a year now in this reign. She's got the longest single reign of the SmackDown Women's Championship in history, and the longest cumulative reign of any of the women's titles in their modern incarnation, I think. I heard it and I've screen recorded it. Thanks for that.
You can't get out of it now.
Who do you pick in this match, Daniel?
I think I'm going to have to agree with you.
It's rude.
Thinking about it, I'm going to have to think. I'm going to have to go with Sasha, but I think there's going to be something like what happened with her and Charlotte. You know, where they kind of went back and forth with the Raw title for a couple of times. Like one pay-per-view Sasha won it, and then the next pay-per-view Charlotte won it, and the next pay-per-view Sasha won it. And I think it's going to go like that for a bit.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily benefit Sasha too greatly because she is at 6 women's championships now, I think. She won 5... No, all Raw. She hasn't won the SmackDown one yet, has she?
She's only got 5 Raw women's championships.
No, she was 5 before.
Oh, was she?
Beforehand, yeah. During that whole thing with Charlotte, she was a 5-time champion then. And so this time that she beat Asuka, that's the 6th,
that's
I
it.
believe.
She's 6th now, isn't she? So she's a 6-time Raw women's champion. So, and then also women's tag team champion. So she'll want to be a SmackDown.
Yes, so that's the Grand Slam for her then, if she wins that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about the back and forth afterwards, but we definitely agree that Sasha is going to win the Women's Championship on Sunday, I think. Next up, the 107th meeting of Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton for the WWE Championship.
I think Randy Orton.
Oh, good. Because I think Drew McIntyre.
There we go. We have differed.
We have. Let me just say, I don't care either way anymore. I'm bored of it.
Yeah.
I've been bored of it for a long time, and I just want it to end. So whatever they have to do, whoever needs to win to make it go away, and for both of them to go off and do other things, do that.
Yeah.
Because it's been 100 years now, and I'm over it. Universal Championship. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus Jey Uso.
I think we're probably going to say the same thing here.
I think so.
Jey Uso. No, Roman Reigns. Yeah, Roman Reigns all the way.
Roman. Can
you imagine if a person like a year ago could see you now?
Got no comment to that.
No. But we all know it's Roman going to win.
As I fill this with awkward silence.
We all know Roman's going to win.
Yes, and I predict Roman Reigns as well. But I would be totally fine with Jey Uso winning as well.
I would be
which
so
is
fine.
Weird. The idea that Jey Uso could become Universal Champion on Sunday. And I think a lot of people would be okay with it and be like, yeah, that's totally reasonable.
Yeah, I'll be very happy with it.
Incredible. And that really speaks to how well these guys have done against each other in the last month since Reigns became the Universal Champion. Nobody else has even had a look in.
No.
Or questioned it. Like, Reigns has not really had any matches other than with Jay as his tag partner.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any kind of well, I should be fighting for the WWE, the Universal title, not you. Like, that never came up. So, good on them.
Yeah.
But also, let this be the last one.
Yeah. Yes. Get someone else.
Yeah. And I suppose when you look at this card as much as it stands and all of the other things that are happening, you are really getting ready to have no story available as of next Monday. And that's fine, because we're supposed to be building to Survivor Series afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. If they do NXT again this time, they may not.
Who knows?
They may deem that too much of a risk under COVID to add another mix in now that they've re-separated them and whatnot. But
can you imagine a match between Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, and Finn Balor?
Bosh.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah.
Who's North American champion right now? Is it
Damian Priest?
That's him. Yeah.
Him versus Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley.
That's not as entertaining a match as
women's would be either Bayley or Sasha.
Sasha, if we're right.
Yeah, Sasha versus Asuka versus Io Shirai.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Tag teams would
When's Halloween Havoc? Halloween, I would assume. Is that just an episode of NXT, or is that a takeover?
No, it's a pay-per-view. It's like a takeover, but they've gotten rid of the takeover part. So
yeah, it's not. Are you sure?
I think
NXT
so.
Halloween Havoc.
I know that they've got to spin the wheel.
Special episode of the weekly NXT TV program.
So it's just an episode.
So when will it be? Oh, for God's sake!
Probably next week.
Too difficult. Yeah. So next week, 28th.
Yeah. Cool.
So not even a special day.
No.
They could have done it on Halloween. It's a Saturday.
I know that the host of it is Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, all of my knowledge of what's happening on NXT at the moment is through the This Week on NXT things that are happening on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. But...
yeah. Normally, if I cared, I'd be like, la 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 la, not watching, because I didn't want things spoiled, but I don't care. So.
Yes, but those are our predictions so far.
Okay. Such as they are for the 4 matches that have been announced. I normally when this happens, we're like, and what are the potential matches that we're expecting to see? But they're just gonna be random. They're just gonna be totally random.
Yeah.
So we'll deal with it as it happens.
Yes. Cool.
And there we go with another long episode of the main roster in the books. We prepare to move forward into Thingamybobby next week.
Hell in a
Cell review. And this week on the Jez Show Network, we prepare for a few more streams today. So we've got 2-minute warning coming up at 8 o'clock, which is a special episode celebrating the 100th podcast on the Jez Show Podcast Network. And then at 8:30, immediately following, may even start while 2-minute warning is in progress. Always Be Chatting is back with, I want to say, his 4th stream of Undertale, which is a funny little game, it must be said. It's very entertaining. And then straight into Captain Sorrow after that for the second day of FEAR 2. I'm back tomorrow for the Don't Get Me Started that was supposed to be last week, but I was too ill to do.
There we go.
Like a boss, I catch it all at the end, says Nova Charter.
Always in it at the last minute.
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
Yeah. Well. And on that note, I'm going to scoot up to my top screen and start the pre-ending music. And I'm going to try and find some of my sanity. Well, I've lost a lot of it on this episode today.
I've given up looking.
Yeah. And so, as we close out, I will say, I have been Jez.
And I've been Dan.
And I would like you to finish us off with one more take.
Oh, then, here we go. Take!
Take! Thanks for listening. See you next week.